Okay. Can everybody hear me? Yes. No. Unmute yourself and tell me if you can hear me.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Well,
I can hear you.
great. It shows that I'm recording, but I guess there's a few people I'm seeing that are asking for the link, and I thought it was already uploaded and everything, so we may not have as many people as I think. So we'll just get started. It is what it is. So we're going to talk about borrow bags, and we're going to talk about mobile offices, which most everybody that's going to be on here or would be on here know about. I'm going to start with borrow bags. There are so many of our products that we have that we can use in our borrow bags. It doesn't really matter. It's kind of up to your customer. Of course, I think a lot of them that go out are, hey, Laceland, a lot of them that go out are wax and warmers. So the reason why I kind of started doing borrow bags again is because I had a month where it wasn't going so well, and I have set myself up to do at least 500 PRV or more a month. And we were kind of halfway through the month and still nothing was happening. So I just kind of thought back to some things that I had remembered from going to several meetings and several of our little sprint meetings. And one of the things that came to my mind was Angela McElwain doing the borrow bag at one of our meetings downtown, I think it was. And so that kind of got me thinking about maybe if I'm in this predicament, maybe there's more people in this predicament that don't really know which way to go. So I started thinking about the borrow bags, and I got a customer to do a borrow bag, and she loved the product. She actually bought something after she got done. She tried to have a party but didn't have a lot of success. I tried to coach her as much as I possibly could, but it just didn't go anywhere. She said she had a lot of people wanting to look and wanting to touch, but nobody actually bought. So we're going to try it again maybe in August at the hopefully 10% off time. So borrow bags, you can really use any type of a bag for a borrow bag. This is what I have been using. I got them in the store. I'm not sure if they have them now. They may have something different, but this is what I'm using. You could really use anything depending on what you're going to be, what your customer wants. I've got bags like these. They're the ones that have the stuff inside. What do they call it? I don't know what they call it. My brain is fried today. I worked too hard. And then I have also this one as well. It also has the same stuff inside of it. You can use that if you want. You can use a small purse. You can use really anything that's going to help. So what do I put in my borrow bags for wax, the wax and warmer? Well, of course, I'm going to let them have a warmer. I don't really give them a choice of a warmer. I just pick one out and take it because it's not really the warmer. It's the smell that they're kind of wanting. So if they decide they like it, they can pick out their own warmer and buy their own warmer. But I normally give them a warmer. I normally give them a bigger warmer so it kind of fills their house up, kind of makes them want to buy. I ask them what type of a smell they like. I don't want to give them something that they don't like because, of course, if you give them something they don't like or they're allergic to, that's a big red check mark. So this one I'm going to do vanilla, just a straight vanilla. She said it's going to be going between her hearth room and her kitchen. So I thought a vanilla smell would be good. She said just to pick out something that's kind of a baking kind of scent. So I'm going to go with just straight vanilla. And then I also put in one of our room sprays. She said her son would like to try a room spray in his vehicle. So I'm going to give her one of my Manly room sprays. Normally I wouldn't do that, but she sounded very interested. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Sometimes I'll put just a few of our different products, but not very often, like a scent circle or a scent pack or something just for show. And then the other thing I put in there, and like I said, my borrow bags are going to change just based on my customers, what they want. I'm going to put a book in there, of course. I'm going to put whatever is going on currently in the month. So I've got the scent of the month with a sample on it. I've got the scent of the month brochure. I've got the Bring Back My Bar brochures that I made copies of. And then I have our diffuser information. I also put in about having a party, hosting a party, and basically maybe even selling. I put that information in there too, because you just never know. Once again, everything that you see here is tagged with my information. Because once you take this stuff back, they're probably going to keep some of the stuff. So you got to remember to leave the information with them. So that's kind of what I do with my warmers and wax. Let me get that back in there. Okay, so what I do if they want the Scentsy Clean. If they want the Scentsy Clean, I'm going to basically make samples. I have not had anybody want Scentsy Clean. Well, yes, I have. I made some little samples, spray bottle samples of the Scentsy Counter Clean and sold a few bottles of that once I did that. But the Scentsy Clean comes in the hand soap, comes in the Wonderful Counter Clean. It comes in the kitchen soap. And then it also comes in the Scentsy Fresh, which is kind of like the other stuff called Febreze, but this is much better. So depending on what type of a liquid it is, will depend on what sample bottles I put them in. But I normally try and give them enough for them to know whether they're going to like it or not. So like if I have a bottle that's maybe like almost empty, but I know they'll get enough out of it to know whether they like it or not, I'll just throw the whole bottle in there and just let them use it. If not, I'll just buy some little spray bottles or some little lotion bottles or whatever and put those in there. And that means your bag doesn't have to be big like that. It can be a littler one. I've got a little one that I can do that with. So it just depends on what they want to try. But I always try and give them the whole line, not just one product out of that line. I give them the whole line if I've got it. And if I don't have it and they really want to try everything, I'll either find somebody that has some that I can borrow, or I will go ahead and order it and just continually make samples out of that specific one. I just mark my bottle sample, so I don't sell it. The other one is the Scentsy Laundry. I'm in love with this stuff. Even my boys love this stuff. In fact, Dustin was at one of his basketball games last night, and some of his team members came up and go, "Damn, Dustin, you smell good." So, basketball boys can stink because they're constantly running into other guys that stink. So I may have made a couple sales with some moms last night. We'll see. The laundry line, we have the washer whiffs, and this is just, I normally buy the tubs, but this is the smaller version, and I'll put enough in there for them to do a couple loads of laundry. I think that's plenty. I have the dryer discs that I use. I'll give them one dryer disc. of course, the laundry liquid, and then the laundry conditioner. That's the laundry line that I normally put in my Borrow bags. And again, just like the Scentsy Clean lines, I will, depending on what it is, I will use a specific bottle to use for their samples. And it doesn't have to be a lot, but it needs to be enough to make them want to buy it, to want to like it. And sometimes it takes more than one washing or more than one spray. So just kind of remember that when you're doing the samples. That's all I have for the Borrow bags. It's really simple. And if you're struggling, I highly suggest, maybe putting out there on your work page, if you haven't ever heard of Scentsy, don't know what Scentsy is and would like to try it, we have several available lines. We have the warmers and wax. We have the Scentsy Clean line, which consists of yada, yada, yada. We have the Scentsy Laundry line, which consists of yada, yada, yada. So that kind of gets your foot in the door. And maybe once you get your foot in the door and they like it, you can turn it into a party. You can turn it into maybe somebody who wants to join. You just never know. I am now working on my lady who did the bag party to hopefully maybe talk her into joining. She's kind of on the fence right now. I want to get her over that hump onto our side, so we'll see how it goes. So now I got all this beside me. Let's talk about the mobile office. I am in love with the mobile office idea, and I think this came out, and somebody can correct me, I think this came out at one of the like Spring Sprint maybe, or even maybe one of the reunions. I'm not 100% sure where it came from, but I took a hold of that baby, and mine is never, ever out of my car unless it's going to have a bunch of kids in it for church outings or basketball or cross country, whatever I'm doing. Sometimes I will remove it out of there just because I don't want it to get damaged, but it never leaves my car. I absolutely love it. What's in a Borrow box? I call mine a box because it's actually in a box. Again, you can put them in bags like this. You can put them in a box. You can put it in a box. It doesn't matter. As long as you have something in your vehicle or on you at all times, that can help your business. My Borrow box is what we got here at, I believe it was, I can't remember the name of it. It wasn't Spring Sprint. Help me out, guys. It was the one down at the
World Tour.
World Tour, yeah. So, yeah, that's it. It probably even says it on there, but I'm not looking at it. So, this is the box that I use. And I don't know if you guys can see, but I'll show you what I have in it, but this is my Borrow box. I have pins attached up there. Okay? And then in my Borrow box, forgive me, I'm going to get some of it out. Again, I'm going to put what is currently going on in the month. So yeah, you can't just leave your box in your car and never change it out because things are going to change, especially when we go through the change in the seasons from spring, summer to fall, winter. So again, I've got my Bring Back My Bar. I have the monthly. And I also already have in here the month for July promotions. I have my product sheets. Of course, all these are labeled. Hi, Pepper. My dog's in here. She hears me talking, so she thinks I'm talking with her. And then I have my, I'm losing my mind tonight. I'm sorry. Diffuser information. And I keep them in like in a folder so they don't get all over the place. So as somebody wants something, I can find it right away. Then I have in here, let me put this all back. I'm OCD. Sorry, guys. I also have a room spray. I always carry a room spray. I leave it in the bag just in case, but I have a room spray. I carry around my little cotton ball packages. It's always a good conversation piece. I am not kidding you. People look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, why do you have cotton balls? Several people at work started using this, and they come in and they say, that is so easy. I love it. I'm glad you showed it to me. Cotton balls. I always have samples. Again, I use my card with the cotton ball and a scent. But in this weather, I haven't been using these. Instead, I've been attaching the rub and smell stickers onto the actual brochures for the scent of the month. It's just because it's too hot. I always have I've got a bunch of cards in here. You can't tell, but I carry a bunch of cards in this bag. I have my bags ready to go for potential customers or even new clients, new customers. And on these, I have in here, of course, the join, party, and whatever is currently going on with the scent of the month. And sometimes I have a sample in there. But I have these all ready to go. So all I need to do is hand them out. Then when I hand them out or hand a sample out, I have my drawing slips or my slips in here for Pepper, stop. I have my slips in here for getting their names. Okay. The biggest thing I think I carry and biggest thing I think I sell are light bulbs. I carry at least, let's see, I've got 2 of my 25 watt, 3 of my 15 watt, and a sleeve of 20 watt. I normally always, within a month, do not have any in there, so I have to keep rotating everything. And then I've been also trying to give out our men's and women's line because we've been getting these in our orders that are coming. So I think that's a sign to us that we need to start promoting them a little bit better. So I'm starting to hand these out. And I also have a sample that I show people because sometimes they want to know, well, what does the car circle really look like? What does the scent pack look like? I don't normally take them out, but I show them what they are. So I normally put those in there as well. That's really what I do with my mobile office. It's got a little bit of everything in there that I can operate within myself or within where I'm at and still be able to take care of customers and possibly gain new customers because I have it right there. So that's kind of all I have. This was going to be a really quick one. I hope that everybody liked it. I hope everybody starts to use it if you haven't. And you can unmute yourself if you have any questions. I will be happy to answer it.
Peggy.
Lacelyn.
Hey, sorry, I don't even know how to do this thing. It just says tap to speak, so I hope you can still hear me. But I really love everything that you shared, and that kind of made me think, okay, I've got my mobile office ready in the same box that you do, but I need to have like some of those packets ready to hand out. I feel like I haven't been going through that as much, and so I need to definitely get that revamped and get my basket parties going again too, because I think, like I was telling you earlier today, you know, sometimes with the summertime, it's a little bit slower.
Right.
And so I feel like, you know what, instead of always looking to maybe have the home parties, the basket parties, especially for a lot of people who are going on vacations and that kind of thing, they can still do those basket parties. So, right. Or bag parties. So I think that's a great idea. I think that's something I'm going to start working on myself too. So thank you very much for that.
And when you mentioned in the summer months, it's kind of very important that when you're giving your bags out, no matter what they are, that you tell your customers, please, please, please don't leave these in your car. And I've always been told that I'm pretty much, blunt and to the point. I just basically tell them, these are my employees. These are my babies. You wouldn't leave your dogs, your babies, anything in the car that you don't want harmed. Even with windows down and blinds up, cars get really hot. Those are going to melt in no time flat. So just make sure that you attach a little note, like a note card. This time of year, I attach like a note card to anything I give people that says, please don't leave me in the car. I will melt. So it's just a really good reminder to remind your clients and your customers to please don't leave them in your car, because if you're giving it to them at work and say they may not be going home right after work, you know, maybe say, hey, can I drop this by your house when you get home? Or, you know, I'm just always afraid somebody's going to do that. I had it done with my party testers, and it was horrible that I had to replace all my party testers. And that was when I first started. So I always just make something to tie onto the bag. And I always remind my customers, please don't leave anything I give you in the car, because it could explode. It could melt. Not that it wouldn't smell bad if it did melt, but you know what I mean. So that's a good point, the summer months.
Yes, I agree.
Anybody else? No? Well, I think I actually recorded this time. So I hope everybody was able to get enough out of that. And if you weren't able to get enough out of that, then let me know, and I can go through some of the stuff again that I use in my borrow bags and that I put in my mobile office. But that was kind of, I knew it was going to be kind of a quick online meeting, but I think it's really important that when you're struggling, that you just don't sit back on your hands and say, woe's me. You need to start thinking outside the box. And that's why I'm so grateful for all the training that Tracy does, and that we are able to take from all of our meetings that we go to, and all of the meetings that they do online, and all of the meetings that corporate does. Because it just takes maybe that one thing to get you back on track and to get that pep back in your step of selling and promoting the Scentsy business and lifestyle. So with that, I think I'm going to say goodnight and hopefully get this uploaded with the help of Laceland. And I hope everybody has a great evening, and please refer back to this if you have any questions, or feel free to message me.
Thanks, Peggy.
Thank
Good night,
you.
everybody.
Bye.